Welcome to Gold Medal Business, the place to be if you're a children's activity and sport entrepreneur who is serious about growing and scaling your business to six-figure success and beyond. We talk growing your team, growing your students and your venues, and so much more. I'm Katie Cannon, former 5 times British gymnastics champion turned 7-figure entrepreneur. Are you ready to get started? Let's grow your business. Today I'm going to be sharing very much how less is more in your business. One of the key things that, and you'll hear me say this again and again and again, we overcomplicate our children's activity businesses all the time. Simplicity scales, complexity kills your business every time. And in my first 5 years of business, that was exactly me. I made it so complicated that it didn't scale. It was a nightmare to run and it constantly had issues. If you're brand new to our community, I'm your host, Katie Cannon, 5 times British gymnastics champion turned 7-figure entrepreneur in this space. Welcome to our community. It's an absolute honor to be coaching, mentoring, and holding your hand. I have over 20 years of experience in the children's activity world. You name it, I've done it. I've had the highs, I've had the lows in every aspect of these models. If you really feel like you need support in marketing or team or growth or scaling growth or franchise, whatever it is for you, I want you to just stop what you're doing now. Can get a call together with myself and my team where we can really give you some customized support to help you grow your business. Because the one thing that we're massive on at Gold Medal is customization and giving you that hand-holding touch. So I want you to drop us a DM, growth, so we can make sure we get some personal time together and really give you the support that you need. So today we're going to share about your dream client. Now, in the children's activity world, I totally used to think this. I think, well, children is my dream client. Preschool age, older age, 4 to 6, 7 to 11, what teenagers, whatever you specifically dial in on, is your target market. And I absolutely used to think, well, that's all good. That is my target market. But I want you to start thinking strategically on this, because what gets you to 100,000 won't get you to 250. What got you to 250 won't get you to 500,000. What got you to 500,000 won't get you to 1 million turnover in your business. Because you have to start thinking about your business in a little bit of a different way. You've got to start thinking more strategically. And just like you do when you begin your business, you say yes to everything. As you're growing your business, you start to get a little bit better, a little bit more strategic, a little bit better at making decisions. Therefore, you start to say no to a lot more. So I want you to start thinking of the same analogy in your mind when it comes to your dream client. So number one, I want you to get crystal clear on who is your dream client. I want you to do a little bit of an exercise as you're listening to this, or later on, if you're driving or you're not literally sitting at your desk. And I want you to look at, who do I love? What students do I love? Why do you love them? Have they got particular characteristics, caliber? Why do you love them? But I don't want you just to look at why do you love that student. I want you to look at everything that comes around that student. So everything around that student in terms of their parents. Do they pay on time? Are they an easy student to have in your business? So it's not just about going, okay, I'm just going to attract children. It's really dialing into who is your dream client and why when you're looking at your organization. So that's number one. Number two, I then want you to think, when you've got crystal clear on why they're your dream client, I then want you to spend some time focusing on how can you bring more of those into your marketing? How can you attract more of those dream clients into your business? Meaning, how can you spend more time on generating who you actually want in your business? Because when you've got all systems go on one core client, you will start to really build the level that you desire. rather than be split in multiple different directions. The same exactly applies when I talk about doing multiple different classes. When you start your business, scale up one exercise, scale up one genre, scale up one particular activity. Don't try and do 5. Try and just do one, scale it up, and then add to it. Exactly the same with your ideal client. So number 1 is identifying who is your ideal client. Number 2 is how can you focus more time on bringing more of those ideal clients to you. Number 3 is really looking at all of the, say, bad clients in your business. And when I say bad, they're not so much bad as like, oh, they're naughty in class, even that might be a factor. I want you to look at all the clients, and we all know, you can obviously absolutely write, you know, the names you hear of again and again. Maybe they're not paying. Maybe they're always moaning about something. Maybe there's always a problem. Maybe they are not fit for your organization. Maybe they wanted high level, but you're not doing high level. You're doing recreational. Maybe they wanted recreational and you're trying to teach them high level. Really having a look. Have you actually got the right level of people in your company? Looking at those bad clients. And the reason why it's really important to do this, because those bad clients, and I've got a bit of a story to share with you in a minute, those bad clients can often drain the organization. You may think, oh, you know, it's only 10. There's only 5 of them. But they can almost account for like 30 to 40 of other students that are really good and not causing you any issues. So it's really important to not let bad clients in your business drain the life out of your business and your team, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. You're draining your resources of your team and making sure you're focusing all your energy on the current clients that you want to create and that you want to generate. So number 1 is identifying who they are. Number 2 is focusing more time on building those new clients. Number 3 is being really aware of the bad clients in your business and what you don't want to duplicate. And then I want to share with you a little story. One of my centers I had, I won't name the particular area, but I had a center around 7-8 years ago that drained the living life out of me. It cost us more in money, in time, and many other resources than it did my 3 other centers at the time. This one particular center, I hated going to. I hated the area. I hated the building. I hated the feel of that. I didn't like it. So 1, it didn't get much attention from me because I didn't enjoy it being part of my business portfolio. But when I look at it now with hindsight, it completely was the wrong caliber of client in the wrong location completely. And at the time, my mindset was, I knew it wasn't as affluent as my other ones. But I was like, do you know what? If we reduce the fees, we won't charge as much. We can deliver the same program. But by doing that, yes, we charge less, but we got 100 different other problems alongside of it. You're much better to go with quality than you are to go with quantity. Now, looking back now, I would never do that again. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And if it's an area that's not as affluent and it's not got our ideal client in, I'm not even doing it. I don't care if we can charge a little bit less and it can still make some profit. There's no point. It's not fitting with our overall vision, our plan, our culture of our brand. So that business opportunity was not an opportunity. It cost me a lot. Resources, time, staff, all of those things. But I don't regret it because, as I said, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I now know what I'm looking for, like it's crystal clear. So this particular area and this particular location was a great learning curve for me in terms of thinking that, you know, I'm sure it will have my ideal client in, but it turned out to be a lot more hassle than it's worth. So a few things I want you to start thinking about, and these are good notes to write down, is every opportunity will cost you in some way or form. It's either going to cost you in money, in time, or resources. Not even to mention emotional stress, emotional capacity. Because remember, that opportunity is pulling you away from one of your businesses that could really utilize that energy and strength. But you're diluting your brand by putting it over here. And then what happens? The really good locations start to struggle. So remember, there is an opportunity cost to absolutely everything. Every wrong client will build 5 times more work for you than every right client. So it's going to 5x your workload for every wrong client you bring on. Because every wrong client you bring on is then going to cost you more time, more money, and be a lot of heartache and, quite frankly, a lot of time sorting loads of little niggles that they're not happy with. There is a reason at Gold Medal that we are so, and I talked about this a minute ago, and if you haven't done this yet and you're interested in getting pure customization for your brand, make sure you book a growth call with us to really focus on your marketing, your team, your scaling, whatever area you want customization on. It comes with support. I want you to DM us or comment growth if you want to book a 15-minute chat with myself or my team and to have a strategic chat about your business so we can really recommend the right resources and support for you. There's a reason we do that. Because we don't want the wrong people in our mentorship programs that it's not a fit for. How do we do that? We do that by having a call together. So think exactly the same as your students. We don't want the wrong people in our organization learning from our mentorship because they're not going to be happy. If they're the wrong person and it's the wrong mentorship for them and the wrong level, they're going to be dissatisfied, which then is going to cause us a lot more pain, and the same for our client. So think of your client the same way. You want to make sure you've got the right people coming in so that everybody's singing from the same song sheet and knows your culture, your mission, and your values. When you do that, you actually then hold space for more better clients to walk through the door, which is exactly where you want to be. You will say no a lot more times than you will say yes. Especially if you are doing academies, you're doing squads, you've got a higher level program. You're often not going to say no at a lower level unless they're quivering with the price. And how you say no to like your lower level clients is, and please never do this. If you've got a client that is trying to halve your prices, if you've got a client that's going, do you know what? I'm not going to pay £50 a month, but can I pay 45? Or do you know what? They can only come twice a week because they're with mum on the weekend and this weekend they're with their dad. We've had many a times over the last 16 years in this industry of bending the rules or going, oh, do you know what? We don't want to lose the client. But what are you doing? The more things you're having to put in place for that customer, the more problems that are going to come. No, we have to come. It's a monthly membership. They come every week. If you can't make it, you're still paying. But it's the same amount for everybody. You don't try and bend the rules because you're holding space for the right person. Believe me, if they've got issues and they've not even attended a class and they're asking for, can I have a discount here? They're probably not, you don't want them in your organization. You need to be crystal clear with that because you need your time and energy on the right clients. You've got to cast a wide net, and just like fishing, I'm not a keen fisher by no means, but just like you're fishing, you're going to literally pull in a lot of people and then tweak your way through. You're going to have people that come for trials that are not going to join. That's great. We want them to obviously join, of course, but if they don't, that's great because they're not your ideal client. So casting a wide net, being constantly, marketing for your ideal client, you will start to attract the right people for your organization. Because remember, everything has a cost in your business. And the number thing you don't want to do is you want to always make sure you're protecting your team from burnout. You want to make sure that you are protecting your team with everything they've got and everything you've got. And if you're constantly bringing in the wrong caliber of clients for your team to work with, that's going to burn them out. It's going to drain their resources. And then you end up with an unhappy team and your retention, you then end up with retention problems in your business. And the list is endless. So if you haven't yet booked your growth call, I want you to DM us, just put growth so we can support you personally with your exact goals for your business. I hope you've got great value in today's Go Gold with Katie of really knowing who is your dream client and how to work less but generate more by focusing on the right area of your brand. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you've enjoyed and you've really got some great benefits, please share with someone you know or someone in the children's activity space to really support them in their growth as a children's activity entrepreneur. Please hit subscribe so we can hit more people and get more great value to them. Thank you so much for being part of our community. It's an honor each week to train and nurture you, and I cannot wait to hear all of your great business successes.